Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Queen Crosslight Owens, the founder of the International Voice Coalition, and this is a video for this week, starting with February the 4th and ending on the February the 10th, 2024. And this is my account as a targeted individual, and I have the FBI or in regards with the Black Op Federal Group that is within the FBI that is funded by the Criminal Justice Department of the United States of America. And for the ones that are new to my channel, these are groups that is funded by the Criminal Justice Department. What they do is they put people of special interest on lists. They like to target people that they feel is a threat to their system, or for whatever reason. It could be that they are of a royal divine blood line, or it could be because they have some kind of political connection, or it could be that they are very brilliant and creative, like poets, book writers, journalists. It can be for any reason, or they just don't like a person, or there are some dark elites that hired, monsters within the government to target individuals they don't like, they hate. But for whatever reason, we find ourselves on their list. So I happen to be one of them. And a quick story, I worked for a business owner that owns some Burger Kings in South Georgia, and he had paid some local cops to put a tracker or a bug or whatever, some kind of technology on my bicycle, and they were secretly broadcasting it all over the city of Douglas, Georgia. So that is one of the reasons, that is the primary reason how this got started. It's not what everybody once thought it was. It was the criminal, organized criminal activity of old boss man and his paid business partners in crime, which were cops from the police department and or the sheriff department, or both. And I wasn't the only person that he did like that. He did some more people like that as well. Some more employees. Anybody he felt that was a threat to his business, telling his secrets, his trade secrets or whatever. He didn't want competition knowing, like Wendy's, Taco Bell, or whatever, okay? But he felt that I was some kind of threat to his, his business, because I used to work at Wendy's, which was across the road from his restaurant, one of his Burger King locations. And he would come there and visit, every now and then just to see how Wendy's were doing up against his business. So, and I worked at Wendy's for quite a while, and he knew that, and I was one of their stars, customer service stars. He knew that as well, So anyway, a long story short, that's how this got started, was from a crooked business owner, my old business owner, one of my old managers, which he was the owner, of course, he was my top manager. But that's how all this got started. Now, for this week, I just wanted to put that out there so everybody will know how I became a targeted individual is because of a crooked boss man, a business owner, I'll say slash manager, an old one from 1998. So that's how this got started. October 1998 is when I started working for Burger King, and that same week, that's when he put the bug on the bicycle and all of that. And so that's how they got started. It was with Brian Bond, the Burger Kings that owns I think he owned 4 Burger Kings at that time. At the very time when I started working for him, he only had, I think, like 2 or 3 locations. He just had 2 Burger Kings, one in Douglas, Georgia, and then one in another location. I think it was Hazelhurst, Georgia. And then he also had a Popeyes at that time. So he only had like 3 restaurants. He didn't get the other location, the other 2 locations until later, the next year. Because I think it was the Popeyes, he turned that one into a Burger King. So that made him have like 3. So he had 2 in Douglas, Georgia, and he had 1 in Hazelhurst, Georgia. So that means he just only like have 3 restaurants, 3 Burger Kings. He might have opened up some more later on, but at the time when I was working for him, he had altogether about 3 Burger Kings. So that's how all this got started, was with him, but I'm going to move past that, okay? Because I don't want this video to be long. This week, as some of y'all may not know this, but I work as a rental transporter at the Hearst in Lovefield, Dallas, Texas, via a staffing agency as known as Managed Labor Solutions, which we call it for short MLS. I work out there mostly during the week. And I work at the base, a car installer. So I'm more of a car installer than I am a transporter, for the rental part and for the returns, which we also just put the cars on the dirty line as they are returned. And we also take the cars out to private airports and to other local Hearst locations, but they mainly keep me on the ready line because of the FBI, and because this week, oh man, I had started. One of my main boss man had temporarily put me on returns because the general manager, she had started telling him some things, and she told my other MLS, my direct supervisor, she had told him some stuff, But the thing is, the real issue is the FBI Black Op federal group that are manipulating and bullying the managers in Hearst as well as MLS, and using them as weapons to make my work environment a hostile work environment. Because it's an easy job. All you do is put the cars in their rightful places, take them to and fro from the dirty line, and then, wherever they want us to take them to. It's a very simple job. But the FBI, nearly every job I've had since I worked for Brian Bond has been a nightmare, to say the least. There were some jobs, I had some good, managers and supervisors that had my back. Very supportive, very good-hearted to me, did as much as they could, But there were some jobs that this black op group, the FBI, they will use them as weapons. And especially if, like you say, if I were trying to open my own businesses, like websites and things like that, anything money making online. And they know that I was getting that money the right way. I wasn't out here committing crimes to get the money or anything like that. Footwork that money from the footworker up and did everything the upright way. But they're not just watching, they're committing crimes, okay? They are bribing people and they're paying these people privately. They're emailing them, calling them, or either they're threatening them, or they are bribing them. All of that. I've endured that for 24 to 25 years now. Okay? So, especially in Texas. I've been here 15 years, and I'm telling you, these FBI, the Black Op group, are monsters, especially the women. The women in the supervisory positions are brutal. They are monsters, okay? Monsters. They are the masterminds of everything I endured and suffered, as well as this witch, especially for the last 4 years, this celebrity witch, as known as EW, she was part of it, okay? It has been through unnamed sources, credible sources, that she slept with the FBI agent that's part of this case, that's, watching me and doing all of these terrible things. She slept with him and was able to compromise the case and put her mastermind on a lot of the things that happened to me. So she will be coming out in the book that's coming out this year. She will be named in this book, and as well as God has people ready to not only her, but a lot of these people that has been fighting God and his people, they will be naming them, okay? And it will be very dire consequences for anybody to open their mouths on these advanced prophets. It will be, you better get on your knees and cry out to God and find out what they're talking about. Because if you open your mouth up and get on YouTube and all this stuff like y'all like to do and call them false prophets and all of this stuff, when y'all been sitting here witnessing the government torturing a lot of us for years, and a lot of y'all have enabled these monsters to continue their torture and their persecution of God's people. Okay? So when they come out, make sure that you're very careful before you start calling them false prophets, because y'all saw with your own eyes, okay, your ears, what the government did, not just to me, but to a lot of the unnamed chosen people of God for nearly 30, 40 years now. Okay? The government getting on there, putting commercials, infomercials on CNN and bragging about they can read the mind and all of this other stuff they're doing. Biometric technology. Okay? They can hear our voice, hear us talking. Okay? Voice recognition, all this stuff, biometric technology. Okay? Because the Bible tells you, and I'm using scripture now, that there will be no secret that will not be brought to the light. Okay? But God just don't go in little tiny ins and out, cross your T's and dot your I's details about how and what methods he's going to use to bring those secrets to the light. But it is in the Bible that God is going to do that. And he will use advanced prophets to bring it out. That won't be the only means and methods that God used to bring secrets. Okay? Dark, deep secrets out. Okay? Not the only means. Okay? Because we really need God, number one, and we really do need him to release these prophet masters or advanced prophets to tell us what the heck is going on in these last days, so we don't get blindsided like we did years ago. Imagine if I would have had an advanced prophet telling me, Queen, forget about that $7 an hour customer service specialist position, and here is a job you can go to over here. Go work over there. It'd be better to work over there than to work for this crooked boss man. If you work from him, you're going to regret it for a very long time. Your life is going to be messed up. It's going to be tore up from the floor up if you work for that man for that $7 an hour. He is a monster. Do not work for him. If you do, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you 20 years from the day. Or 25 years from the day. I'm going to tell you what all kind of hell you're going to go through for just crossing from this Wendy's and going to work for Brian Vaughn. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this monster. Okay? If God would have sent an advanced prophet, what we call prophet masters in 1998, two things would not have happened. I would not have worked for Brian Vaughn that owned those Burger Kings in Douglas, Georgia, and elsewhere. Okay? And I would not have pen pal that man in prison. Those are the two things I would not have done. Okay? But it's done now. So I have to live with the consequences of my actions, until God Almighty puts a stop to it. So that is why you have to be careful in these end times, and you also want to get as much knowledge and wisdom as you can in the end times, because the Bible tells you my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So that's why God is going to raise up methods and means by which we are going to be enlightened advancedly. And he's going to use prophet masters. These are ones that gets up and tell you. They may use metaphors to tell you. Okay? They may use whatever God wants them to tell. And usually you can tell a real prophet based off of their fruits, how they live their lives, how they treat others, how they serve God, number one. Okay? And their mind is not enshrouded in worldly things. Okay? God wants us to have nice things in life. But you don't put it before Christ. And you be humble about it. Be as though you don't have it. Okay? That's how you got that kind of attitude that you want to have when God is blessing you. You want to be humble about it. You don't want to be too flamboyant, and all this kind of stuff, which some people may consider a little high-minded, haughty or whatever. You know, as you bragging, you may not mean to brag, but you just got to be careful. Okay? So God is going to do whatever it takes to get our minds enlightened so we don't have to tote extra crosses and burdens on us unnecessarily. So I want people to be truthful, truth tellers. Because truth tellers is what you need. That you may not like them, but they are essential to your life, to our life as Christians, as chosen people of God, as saints. Okay? It tells you despise not prophecies. You know? Don't despise the truth. You test it and see, you know. Because there's a lot of things we didn't know years ago. We didn't know. They started this thing way back in the late 80s, I think. They snuck and did it when President Reagan, I think President Ronald Reagan had turned them down. And they still secretly started it up. Okay? So this thing right here is I'm telling y'all don't want to be on no list. I don't want to be on no list. And something's very serious. But we got to stand as soldiers for God. We got to stand for truth. We got to stand up and let our voice be counted. Because we all going to face God for our record one day. We are. So we just might as well, you know, get on the bandwagon. But that's just for some of y'all that are new, that's coming on this channel. You know, this is, it's not just totally for the targeted individuals. A lot of them have band together and formed groups and organizations, and they have filed all kind of lawsuits against the United States of America because of the electromagnetic biometric technology. And if you don't know what it is, then you can look up MK Ultra and all that stuff, and people gonna tell you, oh, that is conspiracy. It's a real conspiracy. Okay? The government really is doing that stuff. They have the technology. Okay? They can read our minds. Okay? They can also hear our voices. All that stuff that they were talking about years ago, it is here. It is here. It's reality. They can see through buildings, walls, all that. Okay? They can see a whole town. They do a whole lot of stuff. They use that technology to abuse God's people with it. And people they don't like. People that's from certain bloodlines as well. But anyway, this week is same thing, insidious stuff. There's some things I can't say because I'm still, you know, working on the job, because I have to, you know, make ends meet and everything, take care of, you know, operation costs and stuff like that. So I can't say their name because the government has this phone that I'm talking on. It's bugged. It's cloned, and it is they are listening to me live, okay, what I'm talking about. So I can't name no names, but it's the same stuff. The FBI has people out there on that job, agents, and MLS as well as hers. Okay? Some of them are also from this witch, this celebrity witch, okay, that lives here in Dallas, Texas. And I know y'all are wondering, some of y'all new people, well, I will tell you why she's part of this group. And she wants to get revenge on my kingdom spouse that God put me with. okay? And because she had been told from the jump, because she was like a lot of these other people listening to me talking when I was talking to other advanced prophets that has the gift of prophenology, okay, which is a gift that God uses anything, like objects. It can be people, it can be anything. It's metaphors is what God is what the prophenology is, okay? Like revelation is coded, it's encryptions, anything, code, encryption, symbolism, prophenology, okay? And it's some of us, we have that gift. It's very, very powerful, okay? So I'm just telling y'all the reason why this witch has a vendetta against me, okay? Because she want to be me. She want to trade places with me, okay? She was trying to steal my crown, okay? Be me and some other stuff. And because my kingdom spouse had broke up with her about 2 years ago, and so she told him that she was gonna harm me and all this kind of stuff, and and kill me, okay? Unalive me, if that may be what I should say, okay? It's still the same thing. She wanted me off the face of this earth so that she could be me, take my place, and all this kind of stuff, and you know. Anyway, long story short about her, and she done a whole lot of stuff. She was the mastermind of a lot of my sufferings for the last 4 years, and she found out because the FBI was reading my mind or something, and they found out who the kingdom spouse was. My kingdom spouse was. He's a celebrity, okay? He's a celebrity. And I didn't tell nobody his name. Nobody at all. Okay. The government was reading my mind, and they spilled it out, and it got out. But some people had already had a feeling who he was, but they could not actually say, because I didn't tell nobody. And this was in 2019. I began talking about it in 2020. Because I was writing some songs, and I started talking about the prophenology only to other prophets and mainly advanced prophets, seers that had the gift, a gift of prophenology, so that they could, and especially the ones that just had been elevated to that gift, so that they can kind of understand theirs, whatever prophenology that God was using with them. So I was trying to reach out to them and talk to them, you know, about that. And I had already always issued a warning to people that was, you know, if you wasn't an advanced prophet, it's gonna sound crazy to you. So it's not for you. I'm talking to prophets, advanced prophets that have the gift of prophenology. Okay? And so she was listening to what I was talking about, and she was probably trying to figure out who it was, and she probably finally figured it out. Oh, she's talking about, I'm not gonna say his name on here, but she's talking about such and such. So now the different reports is coming out prophetically, as well as the psychic reports were saying that, you know, she had already been told from the jump not to get involved with my kingdom spouse because, you know, he's in love with me, because God put us together. She had already been told that. And so she was doing all of this plotting and planning on how she was going to break us up once she found out. In 2020, when she found out for sure, she had already started her arsenal. Okay, she started paying people and all this kind of stuff. And it was told that she had paid a hitman to kill me and all this kind of stuff. And she paid a lot of spiritual people to put voodoo and all this kind of stuff, which I'm not going to go in great detail about. And she would do magic on me and all this kind of stuff, and trying to, and also my kingdom spouse, to try to break us up. Long story short, for this week, just the insidious things that happened. I had been working on the return line, where you just return the cars to the dirty, and occasionally, go out and transport cars to the other Hearst locations. And so that's what I was doing for this week. But they figured out a clever way. The FBI told them that they wanted me to be in that ready line, because that's where they hit me with lasers, this biometric technology. And I have side effects from it. I necessarily have a lot of headaches, though. The headaches started going down. But I still have a little tiny bit. Okay, especially when I started back working on the ready line. The ready line is, they got some hidden biometric technology hidden in them lights. I don't care how they got it on there, or the people got it on their person. For whatever reason, that whole area is really the whole airport area. The FBI is really watching that whole area. But that particular spot where they want me to be in that ready line area, they got something hidden. And they're hitting me with these lasers and things like that. And then another one, when I started working back in that area, I noticed a difference. Like, I had a side effect, and I'm going to show y'all physical proof on this here. So y'all going to be shocked, some of y'all. Okay? That technology ain't nothing to play with. They make it sound like it's harmless. It's not. And there are millions of people that they have illegally experimented on with that technology. Okay? It's nothing to be played with. Okay? You have different side effects from it. And you study, it's like MK Ultra. You study the side effects of this stuff, I'm telling you, you'll be speechless. And that's the secret. That's one of the dark secrets of our government. They're paying these people to commit crimes. The Justice Department paying these people to commit these crimes. Okay? And to lie, to tell lies. That's what they've been doing, telling people to lie about their illegal experiments. Telling them to lie. If they don't lie, they threaten them. They use they abuse their power. They will say, if you tell Queen, then you are obstructing justice, or something like that. They threatened my mother. They did. They threatened her and told her, you can't tell your daughter that we have her under this investigation or anything like that. If you do, there can be some kind of consequences. They told her something. Because late at night, she would be talking about it. That's how my mom did. She got the stress off of her because she lost kids in fire. So it affected her. So she would talk about it. That's how she coped with stuff, with stress. She has to talk it out till she feel better. Talk it out. And so late at night, she would be talking to God and the angels and just telling them. And I heard everything she said. And I see the results of it. Okay, they were tampering with my mail. I heard her talking. They're looking all through your mail and all of this here. All kinds of stuff they were doing. They were paying people to destroy my businesses, and this was in Georgia. And not just here in Texas, but in Georgia too. And it's not because I wrote that man in prison. Okay, it's because of a lot of other reasons. I don't want this. Y'all get the book. The book is coming out sometime this year. It's coming out. So y'all get the book. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. So I don't want to make this video too long of everything that they done. Okay, they done a lot of stuff, and I'm not the only one that did that way. They did other chosen people like that. Ruin their life. Their finances is what they love to go after. And if they can get you if they can get you implicated in any type of crime, don't care how small it is, they will use that to hide their illegal experiments behind it and torture God's people for years. Some of them filed lawsuits and won about that biometric technology. And these gang stalkers, they hire these people. And the money is coming from the criminal justice department. Okay? They use CNN. They use the media as a weapon. Okay? That's why it's essential that we get these laws passed. That's why. It's essential that we get these laws passed. So that's what they did. And that's what they did this week. I'm not going to name no names or anything like that. It's just, they use these people that's part of this group, these undercover agents. That's what I can call them, makeshift undercover agents. That's hired by that witch that lives here, that celebrity witch that lives here in Dallas, Texas. She works with this federal group, the black op group within the FBI. She works with them. Okay, she paid them a lot of money, and she slept, allegedly, as told by unnamed sources, that she slept with one of the agents, the FBI agents, and so that she could mostly get rid of me, make my life miserable. Okay, her name is coming out in that book this year. It's coming out. Okay, so, and it will be verified. The book will be verified and certified, because God is tired of his people being tortured, and we must stand up and let our voice be counted. And there's lots of ways, positive ways to do so. Okay, so that's what happened this week. Is, you know, they were trying to get me. They was plotting on how to get me back on the ready line, because basically what they were doing is they want to make my life miserable. And some of the employees that work in Hearst, especially the supervisors, okay, they're part of it. It don't matter if we do good or if we don't do good at all. It don't matter with them. They want to make me look bad. They want to gaslight me. They want to make this, which they do make it, into a soap opera. Okay? And they're getting paid for it. They're benefiting. They have gotten filthy rich off of me. Okay? They're benefiting in other ways. Spiritually as well. Because a lot of these, they worship the devil. They worship the devil. Okay? That's just the way it is. But we have to get laws passed. Central laws passed to put a stop to this abuse of power, and especially that technology. And also the media. like CNN. They have to be held accountable as well, because that CNN was one of their main weapons years ago when this first got started. That's what people would tell me. My own mother was telling me, got you all on the media. I hear her talking late at night. They got you all on the media and think it's for something fun. Okay? And Max Lockwood, he came out and got the message to me that Brian Vaughn and his crooked cop friends that he paid to put that bug on my bicycle, they're the ones that put the surveillance tapes through CNN. So when CNN comes in, don't try to act innocent. Because you got witnesses all over this world that this really happened. And God is very angry with America. Not just because of me, but all of his people. His chosen people have suffered at the hands of these monsters in the FBI. Especially that group I'm talking about, that Black Op Federal group that's funded by the Criminal Justice Department. Okay? But y'all, I'm not going to make this long. I just wanted to talk about this week, what they did this week out there. Is, they was basically trying to get me to be back on the ready line so that they could do their little dirty work. And they pulled some other little maneuver tricks this week too. I'm not going to go in detail about exactly how they did it, but they did pull some other tricks, in order to get me to. They don't want me to do the returns. Okay, they want me to do the ready line so that I'll be boxed in to that area where they're hitting me with that biometric technology. And there are other psychological little experiments. Okay? And they had pulled the trick when I was talking about it or something. And because they can listen, they can hear your voice recognition. And it was broadcasting it out. And it got back. So, I'm not going to say who these people are. But it was one night, I was almost about to get off work, and I was told to take a vehicle to a private airport. And I hadn't been to that airport in a while. I never took no vehicles to or from there. I just basically rode in the van to go pick up other drivers to that location about twice. So this person told me to go there, okay? And one of the leads told me that I could follow behind him instead of him telling me it might be better to go get your cell phone. But he said, oh, you can follow behind me with the hazardous lights. He lied to me is what I'm saying. And I believe that he did it on purpose. Or it was manipulated that way. But either way, he lied. I caught him in a lie is what I'm saying. I'm not going to say his name out loud. And so it was some stuff that festered off of that. Okay? I just feel like that this Black Op group, and along with some of the undercover agents within HERS and MLS, sorry, y'all, excuse me, that they sided up. They were trying to set me up. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's what I was upset about. Some of y'all in the prophetic world, y'all was wondering, why Queen is so upset. It's why. That's why. It's because of that and the seriousness of this, one of the prophenologies that God is still dealing with me on about those people out there on that job, and as well as the FBI. Okay, this one is a very serious one. Okay, and when the Book of Visions come out, y'all gonna see why. I was raising a lot of heck. Okay, and I've been going through this new prophenology for about a month. about a month, y'all, and it's not an easy one, okay? It's just like for the advanced prophets, it's just like seeing vision. That's what prophenology, it can be just as powerful as that. You can see it just as plain as day. You can put both of them side by side and get a panel of like-minded prophetic experts, prophetic masters, and we all talk about it. And I guarantee you we all come to the same, we'll be on the same page with it. Because I'm telling you, this one right here is a tough one. This is a tough one right here. I told God, please take it away. When you get time, please take that one away. Okay? I got you. But basically, God is going to take me off of that job, y'all. And y'all keep praying for me. Keep praying for all of us. And the ones that are praying for us and supporting us, thank y'all very much. Not just for me, but for all of us. Individual targets and also the people that are in between. They're not quite hit or on them lists, but they are somehow feeling some of the torture or something like that, you know. You know, pray for us all. Keep praying for us and supporting us. God gonna bless all of y'all with special blessings, because we need those continued prayers and support. But this right here is tough. This is tough. That's why I'm saying, if you know you're chosen by God, especially you young, for you make any major decisions in life, any career moves, marriage, relationships, anything like that, get on your knees, drop on them knees and cry out to God. And if you still don't understand, ask God to send you a real prophet or somebody to guide you in the right direction, because you do not want to end up nowhere near what I'm going through with. You don't. Some of y'all would not want to trade places with me. This is not easy. It's not nothing to play with. But God has been merciful and God has been good, and all the glory and grandaciousness goes to Christ, to God Almighty. So y'all stay blessed and stay safe.